Hi. Um, Today I'm going to read about Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. And I'm sure some of you are like, ew, feet. I love feet. Love feet. I love to clip toenails. I love to shape the toenails. I love to clean them, wash them, moisturize them, get them all smooth so that the person feels happy and healthier. But that's just me. So I'm going to be reading out of John, and I am not a weirdo. Okay, maybe a little weird, but still, get weird. I'm going to be reading John chapter 13. It was just before the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and to go to his Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal and took off his outer clothing and wrapped a towel around his waist. It's just the picture of that. Jesus standing up, taking off his house coat, wrapping a towel around his waist, getting ready to wash the feet of those who have walked with him. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" He's probably one of those feet phobes. I have friends like that. Jesus replied, "You do not now realize what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," Peter said, "you shall never wash my feet." And Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." Then the Lord, Simon Peter, replied, "Not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus answered, "Those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean. And you're clean, though not every one of you." For he knew who was going to betray him. And that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord, and rightfully so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them." So the imagery of this really, like, watching it play out in my head really touches me. And I have cried at times thinking about this, because Jesus didn't just wash the feet of those who followed him, who were with him every step of the way and trusted him completely, but he washed the feet of Judas, the one he knew was going to betray him. He served him as well. The amount of love. And I don't even know if I don't think that's the right word. There's another word for it, but obedience, choice, service, patience, maybe? But he was loving even to those and served those. He washed their feet. And for some people, I know that's really gross. For me, that's awesome. But for some people, that's really gross. He washed their feet. And that is huge. Because that means he had to kneel down lower than them. He had to lower himself to do that. And Jesus is a king. I can't imagine him lowering himself, but he did out of love and obedience, because he doesn't have pride and arrogance and haughtiness and all that other stuff that we carry with us. I think that's the part that made me cry, is where he even washed Judas's feet, knowing what he was going to do. But there was something else I saw in here that I wanted to touch on. "No," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." How many times have we offered to help someone and wanted nothing in return? Okay, it happens. All right, you see someone, their lights are getting cut off, you help them out. You see someone who's hungry, you buy them a meal. Someone needs a couple dollars for the bus, you help them out. I don't know how many of you have had this, but how many times have you gone to the grocery store and the card from the person in front of you was declined again and again and again, and you just paid for their stuff? You didn't tell them your name, you didn't want any credit, you just said, "God's got this," and leave it at that. Now, it's so easy to give. How hard is it to accept help? How hard is it to, especially when someone is such a high status? I mean, it's Jesus, and he wants to lower himself and wash feet? No, you can't do that. Not for me. Well, what? Why? No, you're too good for that. Now, see, that's how I would think. But that also, when you don't accept the kind actions of other people or the help from other people, you're taking a joy from them too. Because when people offer, they offer out of generosity, and what they receive is a gift from the Spirit. And by saying no, you are stopping that from happening. So if Jesus lowered himself enough to wash the feet of the man who was plotting against him, why is it so hard to accept kindness from strangers when we need it? That's all for today.